Hi, I'm Melvin Yates, and I've been in real estate for almost 35 years this year, 33 years to be exact. And I want to talk today about the role that relationships play in building your business, any business, but real estate in particular. And the first point that I'm going to make is going to be how important learning and collaboration is. When you're in a learning environment, you're learning with others, you're growing, and you have to be willing to stretch yourself, not think that you know everything. And I'll say even after, I got my license in 1991, even now I learn things every time I'm out, when I'm meeting people, when I'm talking to people. Real estate is something that changes. Most businesses do. And there are new laws, as you know, new guidelines, the government interference, government oversight, systems change, CRMs change, technology changes. Now with AI, you can't do the same thing that you did even 2 years ago, no less 20 or 30 years ago, and still think that you're going to be viable in this business. So that learning is important, being open to learn. And also along the way, you're going to meet people and you're going to grow with them. You're going to establish relationships. And, we always talk about Napoleon Hill and Think and Grow Rich, the power of the mastermind. When you surround yourself with like-minded individuals, other people that want to learn like you do, you guys will grow together. And just like if you were in class in high school or college, you can lean on someone and say, hey, I missed that part, or can I get the notes from the other day? And you can share, you can collaborate, study groups. Those are just examples that you might use in a classroom setting. But study groups are just a form of relationships. And those same relationships that you have in your business, as your business grows and you make healthy relationships, you expand your network, you end up getting referrals, people move out of town. And as that grows, you might send a client that's moving to Texas, you might refer them to someone that you were in your real estate class with. So that is just one part, that the role that learning plays and collaboration plays in the growth of your business. The second thing that's going to be of the utmost importance in growing your business is valuing authentic connections with people, good relationships, surrounding yourself with, people that are smart, people that are talented. Just like your mom or your dad used to tell you when you were little, you're hanging with the wrong crowd. That actually is true. And if your mom never told you that meant maybe you were the wrong crowd. No, I'm just kidding. But you want to surround yourself with people that are going places, people that, desire to learn, people that are smart, like I said, smart, talented. And it may sound crazy, but sometimes you can actually just get smarter through osmosis. That's why when you go into the office, when you hear people talking about real estate, having conversations, if you overhear certain things, deal doctor situations or complex situations, problem solving, how they overcame objections, that sort of thing, you will learn. It's not quite through osmosis, but you will learn. And surrounding yourself with people that want to do things. I know we keep talking about the power of the mastermind, but that is what a mastermind is surrounding yourself with like-minded people. And so if you are surrounding yourself with smart, talented go-getters, then it is inevitable. We could use an example like if you're, you go to the gym and if your gym partners or your accountability partner is getting after it, doing, a million push-ups or a million sit-ups, then, you're only going to stand around but for so long before you're going to say, well, I guess I better jump in and do some push-ups or sit-ups. You're going to push you, you're going to push them, you guys will push each other. So that's another thing that you can do to help grow your business. Surround yourself with people that are going places, talented people, smart people, people that get after it, and then you will too get after it. And also, if you already have that drive in you, then bring people along, lift other people up, help them. That will help. When you pour into others, that also makes you stronger. I always say the teacher learns much more than the student. All right, the next thing that's going to be important is transparent and clear communication. Whether you're working with clients, prospective clients, or even leads, and definitely in realtor relationships with other realtors, it's good to have transparent communication. Now, of course, you can't disclose anything that's confidential to your client or any privileged information, but you want to manage expectation, and that's going to be very important as you're growing your business. If you tell your client that you're going to call them at 3 o'clock, just call them at 3 o'clock. If you tell them you're going to call them every Wednesday and Friday for an update, call them every Wednesday and Friday. If you say you're going to be at the appointment at 2:30, get to the appointment at 2:20. You want to make sure that there is you manage expectation and you actually meet that expectation. Because if you don't do that, the risk is that your client will look at you as someone who doesn't honor their obligations. And once you go down that path of distrust, it's hard to come back from that, and you can ultimately end up losing the client. So, having clear communication, outlining the expectation, making sure that the client knows what to expect, and then you actually come through, you deliver on and preferably exceed that expectation. That's where you're winning. When you tell the client that you're gonna, finish in 3 days and you finish in 2.5, that's when you're winning. When you tell the client that you're gonna get X dollars for the house and you get X plus $1, that's when you're winning. So, keep those things in mind when you're speaking with clients and prospective clients and leads, and just don't overpromise. Better to underpromise, overdeliver, and be clear when communicating. The next thing to consider as you're growing your business and thinking about the relationships and how to best utilize relationships to grow your business is overcoming objections. And that doesn't mean argue. It doesn't mean I'm right, you're wrong. It means really listening. We have two ears, one mouth, and we should use it that way when we're having a conversation with a prospect or with a client. They're going to address a concern, and sometimes it can be, why should they hire you? Or sometimes it could just be a price concern. Why should we reduce the price? They're already a client, and you're telling them we need to reduce the price, and you have to overcome their objection. The first thing you have to do is listen. Understand what it is that they're even trying to ask. A lot of times we may approach situations and we know that there are going to be objections, and we've already we're ready to fight, and that's just not the right approach, in my opinion. You really want to ask questions. You want to understand, repeat the questions that they ask back to the person asking the questions or raising the objections, so that they know that you hear them, that you understand it, and then it's okay to pause. You don't have to hurry and give an answer. It's okay to stop and actually think about it. But, as one of my mentors says, the worst time to think about what you're going to say is in the moment when you're saying it. So that's where role play comes in, and practice objection handling. So even if you already know what it is you're going to say, and you should have, they're really only probably about 10 different objections, and they're all, everything else are just some child or grandparent or grandchild of that objection. You should already know, think about it, because maybe they're saying it in a different way, and you might come out too quick and actually not even be on point. So think about it, what they said, ponder it, and then respond. And then sometimes it's okay to ask with the follow-up questions. Repeat. So help me understand. You're asking A, B, C, and that's your concern. And when they say yes, then you can say, well, that's a good concern. I can understand why someone will be concerned about A, B, C. And I have other clients that have been concerned about A, B, C, and this is what I found. That's the feel, felt, found method. I understand how you feel. Other people have felt that way, and this is what they found. And then you can kind of share that with the client. But overcoming objections, studying that, there are lots of books and things you can read on that, and learn how to overcome objections in a calm way, without getting your heart racing and feel like you're being personally attacked. Understand the customer or the person that you're speaking with, and in some cases it's an agent that you're negotiating with on a particular property. It's not personal. It's not personal. For the clients, it is personal to them, but they're not personally attacking you when they're asking questions, when they're asking why, when you need to show value, you need to prove yourself. And so think about their objection, share with it, think about it, repeat it to them, think about it, take your time, and provide a response, and then ask follow-up questions. And that's how you can overcome objections and further your real estate business. All right, and the last thing we're going to talk about in this segment is having a tailored approach. Really, it comes down to segmentation of your communication. You can't communicate in the same fashion with say you do with a first-time home buyer as you would with someone who is 70 years old, has purchased 4 or 5 houses and looking to downsize into their final home, so to speak. You can't communicate the same way you would with someone on Instagram. They might not be on Facebook, or on Twitter. You have to think about that segmentation and act accordingly is the best way to put it. You can't be one agent to serve all people. And if you try that, you just have to be good at making sure that you differentiate and understand the needs of the first-time home buyer, which are going to be slightly different than the needs of the first-time move-up client. Someone who's buying maybe their second home or their third home. Just the needs are different, and that's really what that comes down to. So that's just the segmentation of the marketing. So you're going to need to understand who your client avatar is, who your ideal client avatar is. If you want to be the first-time home buying specialist where you specialize working with first-time home buyers, then be that person, be that agent, that rock star agent, and know all the different first-time home buyer programs. Understand the needs, the wants, the desires of that first-time home buyer. But you can't bring that same style or that same method of marketing or a marketing attraction to attract investor leads or investor clients. And you want to also work with investors that own 10 properties or more and are looking to buy 2 or 3 properties a year. That is a different client. That person won't be able to relate to you if you're trying to speak to them like they are a first-time home buyer, because they won't be interested. You probably won't. The pace will probably be a little too slow for them, because they'll be like, come on, this isn't my first rodeo. And so, but you should know that going in. So again, when we talk about segmentation and understanding the client and differentiating your marketing and your approach for the different clients, that's what we're talking about. And that's kind of the last piece that we'll put a pin in it when you want to build your business via relationships. We've covered a few different approaches, a few different strategies and things for you to consider on how you can successfully grow your real estate business or any business by managing successfully your relationships and your approach. See you next time.